I thought that the speaker he was really knowledgeable about the topic, and he had a lot of ideas about how to come up with design principles based on your specific project. So I thought that was really interesting. I'd like to see Eric Myers again. I thought he was really, really interesting when he came a couple years ago. And I read his website regularly, so I'd really like to see him again. And I guess dream wish list, Steve Jobs.
Well, the session I just got out of was neuroscience and user experience, where the presenter talked about the hippocampus being a mapping center, which I didn't know that before, and trying to think of ways to apply that in web design, I find that pretty fascinating. And since I work in academia, it might be helpful to start, thinking about those avenues.
One thing I've learned that I must say is that the conference is very focused on higher education, an audience of people who work in higher education. I actually work for an agency, but I find that all the topics and everything that I've learned so far have been applicable to what I do, even though I don't work in higher education. So I think the scope of, you could say that the scope of this event could be expanded beyond higher education. I'm actually looking forward to a session later this afternoon about web accessibility. I'm a big fan of making websites accessible and easy for everyone to use, regardless of what disability you might have or what device you're using. So that's something I'm really looking forward to that I haven't seen yet.
My favorite session so far has been the Understanding e-Learning session. They had 3 fabulous guests, actually a team of people from Bristol Myers Squibb, a person from lynda.com, and then a team of people from here at Wharton who explained their experiences as they have embraced e-learning and webinars and various forms of instruction. I think the most inspiring thing I heard today was actually something rather simple. We've all heard it before, but just being reminded to think outside of the box. E-learning initiatives can be very expensive when outsourced. And the people I heard today have inspired me to think outside of the box, how to leverage internal resources here at the University of Pennsylvania and explore different ways that I can embrace a lot of the e-learning strategies to reach my user group.
I really enjoyed Dr. Norman's session this morning. It's one of those sessions that a lot of people will talk about afterwards. It was interesting in the way he presented the complexity of usability, what was good, what was bad, and how at one point I was sort of disagreeing with what he was saying, but after a while I saw where he was going, and it was just fascinating. It's one of those conversations that you continue to have afterwards. One of the things I've learned so far is in one of the quantifying user experience by the Blackboard presenter, they presented a rubric for defining how you measure what your goals are, and using that as kind of your mantra to determine user experience and usability and defining the system requirements. And it's something that we've been utilizing in our business, but it wasn't quite as clear, wasn't quite as laid out as all of that. And this will really provide a metric for us to use, something really clear and concise that not only the development team can utilize, but the stakeholders as well.
So far, my favorite session is going to be the Measuring Design Principles session that I sat in on just a few minutes ago. I really enjoyed that session because it gave me some concrete examples of things I can do in my own work for improving the products that we offer to our customers. The session I'm looking forward to coming up has got to be the HTML5. As a web developer, it's a really new and exciting process, and even though all the standards haven't really been finalized yet, I'm really excited to get a peek at what's coming up. No, I'd just like to say that I think this conference is a really great tool for people in the web development and product management arenas. I really enjoy attending, and I'm really fortunate to have been able to attend 2 out of the 3 conferences that they've held so far, and I hope they continue on in the future.
One thing I've learned so far is that there are a lot of people with a lot of different experiences at this conference. It's not just some with an educational background, some in research, some in for-profit corporations. And so we can see how some of the different technologies that are available are used in these different areas, and that there isn't just one simple approach to implementing all these technologies, but that oftentimes there's a creative process that has to happen individually within these teams to say, here's how we can do it here, and you can learn from what other people have experienced already.
I just want to thank you so much, Ben Adams, and also I want to thank you. You're doing a good job. And I want to also say this conference was well organized, and it was really good, and I loved it when I had my email. It was very customized to all those sessions that I wanted it, and it was really well organized. It was very structured and organized, and I liked that a lot. So thank you so much. I appreciate that for all those people who organized it.
Wow, all of the sessions have been excellent, in my opinion. I've really enjoyed the 2 keynote sessions that we've had in the mornings. Yesterday's with Dr. Norman, and today's with Corey. I thought they were very informative and really kind of helped to put your work in perspective.
I learned a lot so far already. Really, the speaker's drilling into my head, talking to your users, really planning out your design well. Things you should do anyway, but it's easy to forget.
I think one of my favorite sessions so far has been with Don Norman, first day, plenary speaker. One of my first best sessions there. I think mainly because he sort of spelled out for most of us, at least for me, the importance of usability interface, the psychology of users, and as one who's in higher education, administration, I think it's important to be in touch with both your stakeholders inside your institution as well as outside your institution.
I would say this has been a great conference. I think it's really well organized. The people here who are running it really have done a great job and have made everybody, I think, feel comfortable and have put together some great programming.